G'day Internet, welcome back to another video. This here is my Apple IIgs and it is a wonderful machine. A lot of people consider it the ultimate Apple II, but mine is missing a significant component. You may have noticed. It doesn't have a monitor. I did have one. It's here in pieces somewhere, very, very dead. So I needed to come up with a way of getting some video out of this thing. Now, there is a couple of options. I could make up a SCART cable, and the video quality from what I've seen is okay. I could also go something like a VidHD, which is an add-on card, which goes on inside. But they're a little on the expensive side. And it's something I guess it would work, but I want to try something different, basically. And today we're going to do that. I'm going to wire this thing up so I can use an RGBtoHDMI. Now, to do this, all you need is some 16-core ribbon cable. And I'm going to use a DB25 connector that comes out the back. Now, you could use a DB15 and take one of the wires, maybe like the ground wire, and wire it to the shell. But I'm simply going to use this. And that's kind of it. It's basically just a whole heap of tricky wiring, and tricky in the sense that you want to try and keep it neat. Well, I want to try and keep it neat. And that's kind of it. This is a lead up to a bigger project that I've got coming that I've been working on for the last month or so. But for now, I just need to get this thing talking to an RGB to HDMI. So I'm going to whip the main board out of that, but the first step is that we actually want to connect up our DB25 cable, because we need to measure cable length and a bunch of other stuff. So wiring up an IDC connector like this isn't rocket science. You've basically got a clamping plate here which clicks into place, and a row of teeth in the back which is actually what pierces the ribbon cable and makes the connection. So all we simply do is we stick the cable through there. We take a bit of a look to make sure that the teeth are lined up, and you can kind of give it a half click in. Yep, that looks good. Now, one little trick when doing a male connector like this in a bench vise, because I don't have the proper expensive tool, the trick is this. If you try and put this plug straight into the vise, it's just going to mangle the shell and the pins and everything here. So what I do is I take a sacrificial DB25 female connector, cut all the pins off the back of it, and that goes in there to protect all of this, and then I clamp the whole lot. Give it a few goes just to make sure that it's kind of in and happy. And that's kind of it. Okay, before we actually turn our attention to the main board, we need to get some cable length right. So from the back of the plug, we want to measure up about 28 centimeters, which is there, and I simply want to cut it. Right, this is now surplus to requirements. But what I then want to do is I then want to measure back 8 centimeters, so to the 20 centimeter mark, and I want to put a crease in there. Let's fold it. This is kind of turning into a game of origami. And then about a centimeter or thereabouts back, I want to fold it again. This will make sense, I promise. So we have a cable with a fold in it like that. Then what I want to do is I want to separate this last 7 centimeters or so of ribbon cable. I want to separate it all out. So this is kind of long and boring. Right, and we should end up with something that looks like this. That second fold is now not particularly required, but I suppose we can leave it in there. It will be handy to a degree. Now we can turn our attention to the main board. So here is the main board out of my 2GS. And the main area that we're concerned about is over here. This here is the VGC, which is essentially the video chip. But we're going to be soldering primarily to the back of these 3 resistor packs. And on the reverse side, this is it here, and these are our resistor packs. We've got H2, 3, and 4. Pin 1 is up this end, and pin 8 is up this end. The other area will be H1, which is down here, and there's a random spot up here we need to solder to as well. But to give you a better idea, here is a quick little diagram of the components, and here is a quick little diagram of where we will be soldering our 16 wires. So taking our ribbon cable and connector, I'm going to feed this up underneath the board to make it a little easier for me. And that fold that we still have should line up somewhere around the edge of the actual PCB and kind of line it up with the 3 rows of the resistor pack. Having done this, well, at least once before, I'm also, just for my own sanity, going to put a bit of Kapton tape which of course just folded in half, just along the back here to at least attempt to hold everything in place. Now, one little tip, I've already gone and pre-tinned a whole bunch, well, all of these points, at least on the resistor pack, primarily because I find it simpler not to have to worry about that while I'm counting wires or miscounting wires, and so I can just concentrate on what I'm doing. That's just me. Do it how you like. So the first one I want is wire 11, which goes to the second pin just here. So I essentially just want to measure for length, snip, trim the tip, tin the end, and wire it into place. Right, well that's one. Next I want number 9, and it goes to the next pin. Now, there's 16 of these wires, and I'm not going to make you sit through all of them until we get to the end, because there's a couple of odd ones that need to go odd directions. So, let me get on with this. Righto, that actually went fairly well, apart from one wire, which I grabbed the wrong one and then cut it too short, so I had to kind of add a little bit back in, so you can see the bit of heat shrink there. But other than that, it's all fine, and we should now have 3 wires left over, and they are 16, 12, and 14 here. Now, let's start with pin 14, and it comes up to a solder point just here next to R198. So I'll bring that guy the long way round to here. All right, that looks pretty good. Now, the next 2 wires actually need to go, well, kind of underneath where we've wrapped our main bit of wire. So, I want to talk about wire number 12. So let's remove this capped on tape, just temporarily, and pull our ribbon cable through and fold it over. And number 12, or wire 12, wants to go to pin 3 down here on, is it pin 3 or pin 2? Pin 3, that's what I thought. So it wants to come down to pin 3 down here. So let's just, we'll keep a little bit of length on it. Right, and last but not least, pin 16 wants to come over to here. And now I should be able to fold this cable back over and underneath. I think I'll grab a fresh bit of capped on tape. And that's pretty much it. I might just put another bit of tape just to hold everything else in place. Not that I really think it needs it, but better safe than sorry. It's not really sticking particularly well anyway. But if I flip that over, there is our DB25 connector soldered to the board. And that's kind of about it. We just now need to put the whole thing back together. Right, here's the base of our 2GS. Motherboard goes straight in the way it comes out. So you've obviously got a series of clips up here and then down here. Okay, now I want to mount this before I put the power supply in. So here's the back of our 2GS, and I'm going to mount it in this open slot just here. I'm going to attempt to make my life a little easier by actually feeding the bottom screw in and at least starting the nut, because we can actually slide it into place. All right. So that's just loosely on there, but we should be able to slide the screw in through its little hole and push the DB25 connector into place. Tighten the bottom one up and then put the top screw in. Okay, now take the power supply, and with the ribbon cable underneath the power supply, hook it in at the back and clip it in at the front. And then we can actually use the plug for the power supply to hold the ribbon cable to the side. So here is my RGBtoHDMI. Now, This is the 12-bit variant with the 16-way breakout board. So that's where we get our 16 wires from. In regards to the cable that goes between it and the 2GS, it's basically the same thing, except obviously this is a female DB25, which is crimped here, and simply just not forgetting your pin 1 goes into another IDC connector, and this is just a 16-way, so 8 pins, 2 rows connector. It simply goes into the RGB to HDMI, and this then plugs into the back of the 2GS. Now, one thing I do like about this is that the 2GS actually powers the RGB to HDMI, so you don't need then a USB charger or something to power it. It's pulling its 5 volts from the 2GS itself, so it's one less cable. Righto, 2GS with the covers still off, because we all know the rule about putting the covers straight on a machine. Ribbon cable, RGB to HDMI into this Samsung monitor. Turn it on, got a beep. Lights come on the RGB to HDMI. Weird pattern from the GS OS background, but I should be able to hit Genlock. And there we go, crystal clear graphics out of my Apple 2GS. I'm pretty happy about that. The only thing I don't understand is that whenever I reboot, change into, say, normal Apple II mode instead of GS OS, I always have to hit switch 3, which is basically Genlock. And I don't know why. If anyone knows what I'm doing wrong, please comment down. It's not horrendous, I've just got to hit the button, but I would like to be able to just simply turn it on and it just works. But regular Apple II mode works beautifully as well. And there we go, my Apple 2GS now has a monitor, and I can actually start using it. Quick side note, it booted up off my, one of my booty cards, so if you're wondering how it's doing stuff without a disk drive, that's why. But you kind of got to agree that a modern 24-inch widescreen Samsung monitor isn't really the best look, is it, for the 2GS? It's not exactly the right match, but that will be the subject for an upcoming video. But I hope you found this one useful. If you did, like, subscribe, all the usual YouTubey stuff. A big shout out to my Patreon, so you can see scrolling up the screen at the moment. And if you'd like to help support the channel, there is a link in the description. But until then, I'll see you in the next one.